We've got some really good news and some really bad news about the future of Star Wars, including updates on 5 new Star Wars spin off movies, a new trilogy focusing on Rey Skywalker, and so much more. Let's talk about it all. And before we get to the actual movie updates, this all is coming from the fact that Kathleen Kennedy, who has been the president of Lucasfilm and Star Wars for 14 years, is officially stepping down and retiring next week. And now new ownership is taking over the creative side of Star Wars. And that new ownership comes in the form of Dave Filoni. This man is going to be in charge of pretty much everything Star Wars going forward creatively, which projects are being made and what doesn't, heavy influences on different stories being told. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is, you really got to start working on things like the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, creating a character like Ahsoka, and now he's been working on a lot of these other projects like the Ahsoka TV show, The Mandalorian he's had some input on. Now overall, this part I think is pretty good. Kathleen Kennedy did have to go at this point. Like, she was a good producer for a long time, but especially in the recent couple of years, she has been making tons of different mistakes and kind of ruining the Star Wars brand, so they definitely needed someone else in there. The thing is, I feel like Dave Filoni might go too far into like the fan service and just giving people what they want, cameos and stuff like that. But let's get to the individual film updates, because as Kathleen Kennedy left, she kind of gave this exit interview and she kind of gave updates on all these different Star Wars projects that we've been knowing have been in production for a long time. And I'll get to like more details after I just go over all these brief points. She says that yes, Donald Glover did turn in a script for a Lando film, but nothing has been moving there so far. James Mangold's film, which is going to be like an ancient Jedi story taking place thousands of years before anything we've seen in the Star Wars universe, is on hold, but the script is incredible. Taika Waititi has turned in a script that she calls hilarious and great, which I know a lot of people have some bad reactions to this. We'll talk about that in a second too. Simon Kinberg, who's a guy that doesn't have a great track record with writing projects, is working on a new trilogy and being the lead writer for that. And Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that the Hunt for Ben Solo script is great, but the film is again on the back burner. Now, Kathleen Kennedy did leave out 3 movies that we know are in production. First 2 are Mandalorian and Grogu and Star Wars Starfighter. Those films have both been filmed already, so we know they're coming out. The third one is the new Rey sequel movie. She didn't mention this one, but apparently it's still happening. But now the new rumor that the new trilogy we're going to be getting of Star Wars Episode 10, 11, and 12 is actually going to start with the new Rey movie, and it's going to pick up right from these characters. Who knows, maybe we'll get like Force Ghost Ben Solo back in this movie or something. Me personally, I kind of wish Star Wars would give us a new trilogy that just went super far in the future. Skip a couple hundred years, leave all the Skywalkers and Solos and all these other names behind, and just give us completely brand new characters. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing that. It seems like we're going to be picking up right from the end of episode 9. But what I'm concerned about is this Simon Kinberg that's writing this movie. He does not have the best track record. Like, he worked on some of the worst X-Men films like X-Men Apocalypse and The Last Stand, which I think are decent. I actually like them more than other people. Definitely not bangers, though. He also did Dark Phoenix, which is pretty bad. And you can see here next to me the Fantastic Four movie from 2015 that was absolutely terrible. And it's like, I don't know if this is the type of guy that you want leading your new Star Wars trilogy when the brand is in desperate need of an absolute banger to kind of revive the general public's opinion of Star Wars. Now, let me clarify. I don't think everything in the sequel trilogies is bad, and I don't think Rey is a bad character on her own. They just made some really bizarre choices with the characters, some of the writing and stuff. It can easily be fixed. I don't think the answer was just to fully abandon the sequel trilogy like they've been doing recently, but we'll have to see what happens here. Another one that people aren't happy about is Taika Waititi's film, because of course people are really tired of his style of humor after Thor: Love and Thunder. But Thor: Love and Thunder is kind of this guy's one blunder in his career. Like, I think he still is a good filmmaker, and I think he's capable of making a funny film. He just kind of lost the plot a little bit in Thor: Love and Thunder, so I don't know if it's what Star Wars needs right now, but I'm not going to lose hope that just because his name's attached to it, he can still make a good movie. It is a little disappointing that the James Mangold script is on hold. This is the Ancient Jedi movie, like I said, that's going to take place thousands of years, kind of like the start of the Force and stuff like that. But we do know he's also going to be starting filming a new Timothée Chalamet movie this year, so this is not going to happen anytime soon. The Lando series or movie, I'm really happy we actually have a script for, like Kathleen Kennedy actually coming out and acknowledging this thing, because this was announced so long ago and it seemed like there has been absolutely zero updates. But I think this would be a really smart thing to capitalize on for Star Wars. And in the end, no matter which of these Star Wars projects get made or not, I hope Dave Filoni can just strike a good balance going forward, being in charge of Lucasfilm. Like, obviously he's going to give us that nostalgia based stuff, or we're going to get like the Darth Maul TV show and Ahsoka that has his name written all over it. But I also hope we can still get stuff like Andor that's kind of completely different from the rest of Star Wars and its tone. Like, there were reports the other day that Dave Filoni apparently does not like Andor, but I couldn't really find something super reputable of who was actually saying this. It was just an anonymous source, so I don't know if I really believe that. I hope this guy can cook with Star Wars going forward, because honestly this brand needs some saving. If you want to hear about Tom Cruise's secret new cameo in an upcoming upcoming Star Wars movie, click the video at the top of the screen. It's a wild story. Or if you want to see my ranking of every Star Wars TV show, click the video at the bottom. And thank you for watching.